See, all right, so first and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kakodash. We say double on personal Allah's agreements on a rule teaches our personal truth, and we see salutations for the act constantly pushing with no truth and sincerity, day in and day out, and constantly in season or season, say Shalom. And once again, good entire video here, and this basically touching upon, you will be betrayed by people that are close there, you know, i.e. your family, right? Now I was in a video yesterday touching upon how women are taking these implantable birth controls. And I went into saying that anytime that we are heading into, when it comes to the MOTB, the mark of the beast, they are going to take that RFID, right? And they are going to want the husband to take that as well, right? And we know it have men outside here that run the wits out for these women, and they would do that, they would do that. But there are some that would not, and they would be betrayed by this woman, because there are some men that would confide in the family. They will go and tell the family certain things. Now, when you look at the word confide, it means tell someone about a secret or private matter while trusting them not to repeat it to others. And that is one of the worst things you could do. Sometimes it's better just to hush your mouth and return, especially when you're in this truth. Especially when you're in this truth, it's better you hush your mouth and they don't tell these two-thirds anything, right? But we know that again, there's some men that would go tell a wife, right? Go and tell a mother, go and tell a father, their auntie something, because again, the trust in that there is a family member and they wouldn't switch up on them. And that is a mistake that you would make, right? Especially the times that we are heading into where, hey, you never tell what could happen. They could put a bounty on you, they could put a price on you that, hey, if these are the men who speaking out against the government, if you get them, you get $1,000 or whatever it may be. An example of that is like if you go and watch like what's going on right now with Trump and the deportation stuff. There are people that are selling out children, or telling on children that they here illegally, or they as a Spanish speaking person, just so they could receive some monetary gain, which is, I believe, is like 750 or 850, right? And people are telling on them. So imagine how worse it's going to be in the time that we're heading into, and knowing that if your family, hey, some of our family hate us because we're in the truth. So what you feel they're going to do in that time, right? Let me go to our scripture here before I read this AI overview, right? This is the book of Luke, chapter 21, verse 16. It says, and ye shall be betrayed both by parents and brethren and kinsfolks and friends, and some of you shall cause to be put to death. So what the scripture say, and as plain as it could be, you will be betrayed by your parents. You might confide in a mother, tell her certain things, and she may be holding that. The time I'm heading into, there was an article that said that was his name, Dr. Fucci, said that those people that don't take what's coming, they will become an outcast, right, to society, and they would receive certain penalties for that. What you feel your parents going to do, because now you become an enemy to them, right? Or because you want to serve the Lord, you become an enemy to them, right? And it says, and ye shall be betrayed both by parents and brethren and kinsfolks and friends. And some of you shall cause to be put to death. And these same family, friends, your wife, your children, who it is you confide in, those are the same people that would cause you to be put to death. Because some of them are going to switch up in the time that we're heading into. Some of them would sell you out because they want some rice, they want some bread, right? They would sell you out. They will put you to death, right? So don't feel your family is going to be anything beneficial for you in those days. And the Lord, I'm going to bring back to the scripture here. I'm going to come back to this, but the Lord tell you who is your family, right? Let me just bring that quick. Listen, 1 minute. Right, this is the book of Matthew chapter 12, verse. Let me read up a little bit. Let me read from verse 47. It said, Then one said unto him, Behold, thy mother and thy brethren stand without, desiring to speak with thee. But he answered and said unto him that told him, Who is my mother, and who are my brethren? Right? He stretched forth his hand toward his disciples and said, Behold, my mother and my brethren. For whosoever shall do the will of my Father which is in heaven, the same is my brother and sister and mother. And you see, and those that are doing the will of the Lord, they would be in the same spirit, the same mindset that they're in, right? They would know the things that come in. So more than likely, we know we're gonna be betrayed by, some men will creep in, right? And there will be betrayers of the brotherhood and so forth. But those that doing the will of the Lord, right? And those that crept in, they wouldn't be doing the will of the Lord, right? But I mean, they would obviously they would be a betrayer, right? But as the scripture says, for whosoever shall do the will of my Father which is in heaven, the same is my brother and sister and mother. So those is the ones that you have to watch to be like a family, right? That's why you go hear brothers say that the true family is the brotherhood, right? The people that doing the same thing as them, right? Because they would know what it is to do. They would know what it is to say, how to behave, how to act, even in those times that we're coming into. Because we know we have to do well, we have to die for the Lord. These people are not doing the will. They're not going to die for the Lord. They're going to take whatever it is come, and they're going to sell out whoever it is and take it, right? So going back to the Luke 21, right? Luke 21, it say, and ye shall be betrayed both by parents and brethren and kinsfolks and friends, and some of you shall they cause to be put to death, and some of you shall they cause to be put to death, and ye shall be hated for all men, and ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake. And that's the thing, we are the thing about this preaching this word, you have to understand that we are not going to be loved, right? We're not going to be loved, we're going to be hated. What you think is doing to the Messiah, you feel, and the servant ain't greater than his master, right? So you got to understand that what is going to come unto us. We are going to be persecuted. We are going to be killed, But some of us are obviously going to live to see, right? But some of us, are the scriptures say, the men that stood stiffly, right? The men that were beheaded for not taking the mark, It will have men like that. Now, however the case may be, some of these men, it's an example, right? I always talk about it, and I just never find, I just never find it back. It was a video during the lockdown, right? During the pandemic, where our daughter, she didn't want to take the job, right? She didn't want to take the job, and her family sold her out because how everybody was going on for the job. You have to take it, and you have to do it, and you have to take it if you want to do this, and make sure and take it so we could go back to normality and all this other shoppiness they were saying. And she didn't take it, and lo and behold, the police came, they locked her up. And I believe the footage, right? The footage was actually from, I think it was a neighbor taping it, because it caused a big ruction and so forth. And eventually, at the end of it, they get to know that it was actually her parents that called the police. What they didn't know is that was the response that they was going to get from the police, right? Because it was harsh, they was roughing she up, dragging she all in the ground. I believe they hit she or something along those lines. I'll try to just trying to remember it, right? But I'll see if I get a video a day and do back a video on it, right? And again, that video kind of hard to get, because I looked for it a couple of times, and I see some others, but not that particular one, right? So again, as I say, and ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake. And again, show you how important the name of the Lord is, right? For those guys who are outside it that say in the name of the Lord is not important. So let me go to this overview here. It say the phrase family will turn on you in time of trouble means that when you are facing a difficult situation or crisis, even your close family members may not be there to support you, right? Even your close family members may not be there to support you, potentially abandoning or even betraying you. So the term family will turn on you in time of trouble. And again, we're heading into that time of trouble, right? And we don't know how Jake is. Jake is every man to their own, right? And once you see things on the news where, you saw my throw up a picture, they might say, these is the guys, why these troubles are happening around the world, and we need these guys, and your own family is going to betray. There's going to offer you up. There's going to offer you up, right? It's a potentially abandoning or even betraying you, implying that loyalty can be tested during hard times during hard times. And yes, that is what the Lord said to be a good soldier for him. Let's go to that quick. Go to that. There is a book of Timothy, right? This is the book of 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 3. It said, thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahushua Mashiach. Right? So yes. So as I said, we have to endure hardness. And these are the kind of hardness we have to face in the shoot. Family betraying you, your wife going to betray your children, going to do the same, When you walk in this walk, as the scripture say, but only one could go at a time. This journey is by yourself, And obviously, when I say by yourself, I'm talking about your close, if you're home, your family, and so forth. Usually, it's just by yourself. Everybody else is someone that is against it, right? Now we know again who do the will of the Lord is who we consider our mother, brother, and so forth, right? So it said, thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahushua Mashiach. No man at worth entangleth himself with the affairs of this life, that he may please him who had chosen him to be a soldier. Now, when you go and look up the characteristics of a soldier, you will understand that certain things that you have to have with being a soldier. So much more being a soldier for the Lord, right? Because again, we go in and face hardship in the times that we're heading into, right? It's implying that loyalty can be tested during hard times. It's a key points about this idea. Based on experience, this saying often reflects real life situations where family dynamics become strained under stress, leading to disagreements, blame shifting, or even outright hostility. Right, and obviously we would see that to say by biblical reference, many religious texts like the Bible include stories where family members turn against each other during hardship, reinforcing this notion. So yes, so are we going to be betrayed by our family? Yes, we are going to be betrayed by our family, right? Let me get that. An enemy is of his household. This is the book of Matthew chapter 10 verse 36. This is the book of Matthew 10 verse 36. It says, and a man's foes shall be they of his own household, of his own household. And those are going to be your foes, right? And let me just, look up this word there, right? Because, let me look it up here quick, right? From Matthew, yeah. From Matthew 4. So when you look at the meaning of the word foes, a man's foes, right? It's a hated. And we know reading in Luke chapter 21, we shall be hated for the Lord, for his name's sake, right? Hated, odious, hateful, hostile, hating and opposing another, use of men as the and use of men as at enmity with God by the sin, right? So foes, a certain enemy, a certain enemy. So as the scripture say, a man's foes, right? The enemy shall be they of his own household, right? So don't feel because your family, it's as some of these women, right? They're going to sell you out. They're going to turn on you. So your mothers, your fathers, they're going to turn on you. Some of your parents, they hate that you're doing the things that they're doing right now, which is preaching, teaching, breaking on the scriptures and so forth, right? And hey, they're going to turn on you, right? Right? Um, Let me go to Micah, right? The book of Micah, chapter 7, right? Micah chapter 7, verse 5. It says, trust ye not in a friend, put ye not confidence in a guide. Keep the doors of thy mouth from her that lieth in thy bosom. So you have to tell your wife, you have to tell your woman everything, right? And especially the things that are going on in the brotherhood and so forth. To tell these people that, right? So it say, for the son dishonored the father, the daughter riseth up against her mother, the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. A man's enemies are the men of his own household. So your enemies is of your own household. So yes, you are going to be betrayed. You are going to be, hey, these people are going to turn against you, right? For who? For the Lord's, for the Lord's sake, right? So if they hate the Lord, we feel they're going to do you. They feel they're going to love you. They're going to hate you too. It said, therefore, I will look unto the Lord. I will wait for the God of my salvation. My God will hear me. Right? And that is who you're supposed to be looking unto for salvation. Not no friend, not no parents, not thing. Right? It's unto the Lord. Right? So, again, if these women, as I said, this back from doing the video yesterday, if these women are taking that implantable birth control, imagine what they're going to do with that, when it's time to come, and how they're going to switch and turn upon you. Because some of these women, they have that, and they're not telling the husband that they have it, right? So yes, they're going to turn against, and yes, you're going to be betrayed by your mother and father. Yeah, your own child will be your enemy, right? So with that, we give all praises, honor, and glory to Yehova, Ba'Hashem Yahushai, Ba'Hashem Kakodash. We say the ones apostle and agreements and rule that teaches our person the truth, and we see salutations for the account of the pursuit on truth and sincerity, day in and day out, and a constantly in season and season. We say Shalom.